Bounce.
How's everybody?
It's Friday.
Friday.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's the end of the week.
End of the week and the last day. It's raining here. What is it doing in Atlanta? Mo better. Yeah, it's raining.
Sun's shining and it's about 80 degrees.
8 degrees.
80.
Oh, 80. Now it's blinding here. Now you're gonna have your shades on, but it's raining.
It is. And I like this. I like this intimate group. This. This nice small intimate group.
Okay. You like the small setting, Latif?
Like the small setting.
Hold on.
But who knows how long we're gonna be small?
John.
Oh God!
You gonna make me change my name? That's what I'm gonna do.
Man, I'm telling you, it's for life.
Who's Marlon Green? Help me out.
So Marlon Green was the first black commercial airline pilot by way of court order.
Okay.
The first one to actually make it. So when his trial was going on for him, that he was fighting against Continental Airlines, Dave Harris got hired by American and made it to the line and everything. So he actually became the first black commercial airline pilot to be hired and onto the line. So is what we call it. But Marlon Green was the first one to start the process and everything. And he would have been the first had Continental didn't backslide when he showed up for class. So he filled out his application and everything, but didn't put in his race. And when he showed up in Denver, they were like, the janitorial closet is down the hall. And he was like, nah, I'm here to fly the plane. And they were like,
right, direct me to the cockpit, please.
And that is your Black History Moment, brought to you by Captain Battle. I love it.
I was actually talking to Captain Frank C. Martin the other night about you. I really was. How we just continue the legacy of Frank C. Martin and
absolutely
how we did the second documentary and that you were in it and that you're from Richmond Heights, blah 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 blah, or adjacent to Richmond Heights, depending on who you talk to.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
We have giants among us.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So
one last note. He did reside here in his last years.
Okay.
Marlon Green?
Yes.
And where is here?
In Miami. I think he was out on Key Biscayne.
Okay.
That's great.
Okay. So what's going on, y'all? What's up?
I mean, lots.
Oh man.
Last Friday.
Did y'all see the Kirk Franklin documentary?
I have not
That's how.
seen it, but I've heard a lot about it.
Okay,
Did you see it?
I did.
So what I read was that he stumbled upon his father during a shoot, and from what he was told that wasn't his father, and it really was his father.
Yeah.
So he decided to document the making of his new album.
Right.
So that's why they were filming. They weren't
Right.
filming because
Right.
of
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And so the people who were singing background, one of the girls that were singing background, her aunt passed. Her aunt lived in the same neighborhood that he lived in growing up with his adopted mother. And the girl's aunt passed. They get to the funeral, and the guy who's actually Kirk Franklin's father was at the funeral. And he said, "How's whatever Kirk's mom name is?"
He's talking
And
to Kurt. He's talking to
no, he's
Kurt.
talking to the background singer.
Oh, okay.
Right. Kirk wasn't at the funeral.
Oh,
So
okay, gotcha.
he's asking the background singer, "How's whatever her name is?" Let's say her name is Molly. "How's Molly doing?" And she said, "Well, I'm not sure." And he said, "I used to date her for a little while back in the day." The background singer said, as soon as he said that, she looked at him and said, "Oh my gosh, Kirk Franklin looks just like him." She goes back to Kirk and says, "Hey, I met this guy who's asking about your mom. He kind of looked like you." And then rumors started to circulate. The dad heard about the rumors circulating. He decided to go get his mouth swabbed, got his DNA results, gave them to the girl and said, "Hey, give these to Kirk. I heard about the rumors that were circulating. If he wants to do anything with this, that's on him. This is his story. I don't want him to wonder. I don't think that I have any children," that kind of thing. Kirk decides to go get his mouth swab, and the DNA results were 99.9% that he was his father.
And living around the corner.
Right. Kirk freaks when he gets the results because the man that he thought was his dad, that his mom told him was his dad, he made peace with that man, went to see him before he passed away. And, all those years he hated him. Then he finally made peace with him when he found out he was dying. Kirk was like, this man died thinking that he did me wrong. I was angry with him all these years. It was crazy. So he goes to visit his real dad, and then gave him the results. The real dad broke down crying. And he was like, I didn't know. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. And Kirk was like, it's not your fault. You didn't know. So they embrace. They decide they're going to, start a relationship, get to know each other. Kirk, the same day, goes to see his mother and his aunt. The mother says, he's not your father. I don't care what the results say. I know he's not your father. Kirk, the mother, the aunt, and the dad goes to get the results again together. They go to do the test. They're all together. The results come back 99.999% that he's his father. The mother says, this isn't right. That's not your father.
Been lying the whole time.
So she said,
I give it to her though. She 10 toes in that lie, boy.
She stuck with
I
it.
give it to her.
So Kirk, she asked
10
Kirk,
toes in that
is
lie.
this going to prohibit us from having a relationship? Now, he hadn't seen his mother in 23 years. That was the first time.
There may be a reason.
He says, yes, if you can't tell me the truth and give me this, that's it. She said, well, that's not the truth. She walked away. Kirk decided if I can forgive my father and he can start building a relationship with me, I need to repair my relationship with my son. The son comes over. He gives the son the results. the son breaks down crying. He and the son embrace and decide, you know, we love each other. We family. We got to get this right. So all of that, you know, is going well. The is kind of a bully, it seems. But yeah, it was a tearjerker. A happy tearjerker.
I done flipped pages and everything. I'm all in this. I forgot we was on the show.
Yeah, it was a happy tearjerker.
The funny thing is that when you see people who are in the public eye or in entertainment and stuff, and you really, I ain't gonna say you don't idolize them, but you look at them in the light and you be like, oh man, they got it together or what have you. But you know, they be just as broke up, just as we are. You know what I'm saying? They'd be all jacked up just like us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they continuously are trying to. Yes, continuously trying to find. I remember the one guy on the news. He hadn't found his mother, and they did a special on him, and they found his mother, and he saw his mama for the first time, and I was like, wow, you know, this dude on TV, big time, everything.
Right.
Yeah. That's riveting right there.
It is, but I think here's the thing: this interesting part is I think God allowed that to happen for him to have the relationship with his son. Because when you think about how that went down with his son, and then Kirk already has issues with his father or his stepfather and his mama, God allowed that to happen so that
he can break that cycle.
He can break that. Well, he can break not only break that spirit that was behind it too.
Exactly, the spirit that was behind it, and you saw the spirit. The spirit walked away from it, as you know. The spirit walked away from it.
Yes.
Which was his mama.
Yes.
The spirit of that whole
he has struggled all of his life, but God turned that pain into purpose because you can hear it through his music. And a lot of people were led to Christ through Kirk Franklin, especially in the early 90s. Him, Fred Hammond.
Man, I forget which album.
Yeah.
I think it's the album that has Hosanna on it. That one, he does a little parody about him praying, and he'd be like, Kirk, come on, let's go. And he's praying, and it's the grandmother praying, and then it leads into his voice, him praying right before he goes on to perform, and then they do Hosanna. That album right there, I play that album or that CD to death. Like Kumar doesn't remember it, my oldest, but he knew that whole Kirk Franklin CD front to back.
Is that the one with sweet spirit on it?
No, that's the one with is it Soldier? It's not Soldier Boy. I think it says Soldier Boy, something like that. But there were like 3 popular songs that came up off of it.
Watch Me Nay Nay?
No.
You didn't went to the other end of the spectrum.
I did. We did go to the other.
He said Soldier Boy, and all I could think of is
right.
Yeah, the 90s was a great time for gospel music. The 90s was.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was huge. Yeah. Richard Smallwood, live in Atlanta.
I remember going to see Kirk Franklin, Yolanda Adams, and Fred Hammond in concert. That was like, that concert at that time was like Beyonce right now. Everybody
It was.
It was. I mean, it was a Holy Ghost party.
Yeah. And don't add Donnie. Don't add Donnie to the mix.
Oh,
you add Donnie.
Yeah.
You start adding Donnie to the mix, and Tone, and all these eccentric ones and what have you.
Yeah. Well, I think
Donald Lawrence.
I don't think it was. I don't want to use the word mainstream, but it was finally one of those categories that was really recognized, right? And that we all was able to partake in. Because I remember seeing Fred Hammond in concert. I'm like, who is this?
Did y'all see him Sunday at church? Did you see him, Pitt?
Girl,
they done did a remix. They did a remix to the song that Sarah wrote that we were talking about earlier. And then they remixed it with No Weapon Formed Against Me Shall Prosper. Yeah. Girl, they remixed that thing, and Fred was out there in the audience like this.
Yeah. I think he might be a member there. He's there often.
Yeah. Fred, I like Fred. Fred, he's actually on social media a lot too. What he does, people will sing a song, and Fred will go on and be like, "Okay, now what's the song sound like? Is it good?" Or they'll sing his song, and he'll rate it.
Okay.
You know what's funny, man? Fred was the very first trendsetter or change of gospel music, or radicalization of gospel music. Like he was the first one to take it out of the church and put it into like secular music, but it's still gospel and stuff like that.
Oh, with all the
Commission.
Guys. Yeah.
Commission. Yes.
And the funny thing is at that time you could see it was completely different type of music, but now when you listen to it, it's not a big deal. You're just like,
it's not. Like, it's not. When you hear his music now, you're like, man, it's almost like the old spirituals.
Yeah, that's
it's almost like the old spirituals.
Right. Yes.
It's almost like the old spirituals. You're like, man, that's old. But back then, the old people in the church, they were like, turn that off.
You right about that.
Turn that off.
The funny part, we them old people now. Okay.
Right.
Right. We them.
Hey, we gotta take this commercial break. We are. So long ago. We'll be right back.
My Miami, it's a one-of-a-kind combination of bold, vibrant art that's made to be free, to go on stages, walls, or become them. It all leads me to a world filled with warm waters and extraordinary trails. This is when I'm at my best, when I'm embracing my art venturous side. This is my Miami. What's yours?
What's your Miami?
What is yours? All right. Marlon, what you doing?
Marlon? Oh, it's not Bobby today?
No, she talking to you.
What am I doing?
He forgot he put Marlon down.
I told you I'm so I'm mad.
He's like, where's Bobby? We're talking to you, Latif.
Oh my gosh, that is so hilarious. That's so hilarious. Okay, well, let's jump in the show.
No. So where am I?
Marlon, it's okay. We're on Tyler Perry now. So Tyler Perry was on a podcast and was interviewed, and I need to pull up the exact quote. Bobby didn't give it to me, but let me pull it up on what he said about what Black women need to be doing as it relates to dating Black men.
Oh, I haven't heard this. I can't wait to hear
No.
Mokita. Black women said they tired of Tyler Perry giving relationship advice. Okay.
Why are they tired of the man giving advice?
Let me read the quote before we jump to all of that. Okay, I understand. All right, so here's what I have. What?
We'll talk about it. That was good. That was good. You should have just did this part too while you was at it. I understand.
You got to make it look professional, all right?
Right.
You got to make it look professional. You got to be like,
we are professionals.
Bobby, say.
Hold on a second.
Perfect.
Hold on. What'd you say?
So what he was saying was,
I'm trying to go to commercial.
Bobby just got
we'll be right back.
Okay, wait a minute. because what happened was the PA just brought me my drink and it went away.
Oh, okay. So
So
listen,
here's what the griot said that Tyler Perry said. Wait a minute. Oh no. I'm gonna need y'all to have this stuff ready now.
So listen, while she's looking for that, let me just say, I still didn't see me. I still didn't see that I was put into the photo. You didn't drop me into the photo.
Bobby, I need you to just go ahead and make a note about Mokita.
Changes can't be made in the middle of the show, so you're gonna have to wait.
Okay. All right. So Tyler Perry is being interviewed on a show it's called the Keep It Positive, Sweetie, with host Crystal Hazlett. So Hazlett is reflecting on advice that Perry had given her in the past about the relationship she was in at the time and the man she was in a relationship with. They reflected on that message. Perry was delivering at a time. The message that he was delivering at a time was about having people meet you at your worth, which Perry clarified wasn't about money.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he said, and I quote, "Anybody who can't do that doesn't mean they're not worthy of you," Perry said. That means that they either need to attempt, try, learn, find out enough about you to figure out what that is. And that's not money. Perry went on to say that women, especially Black women, are making a lot more money than Black men. There are a lot of Black men who are successful, but for the most part, Black women are making the most money. And then they said, and this next part is the essentially part that set the internet on fire. So if you can't find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift, that's not someone who's beneath you. That's someone who came to love you at your worth. And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, I can pay the light bill, as long as she's comfortable with saying, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff. You handle the light bill. You can take me to dinner every now and again, and that is fine. So that was what he said. And people, I don't know if it was Black women, but people had a problem with him saying that comment.
I don't think anything's wrong with it. However, if you're offended by it, that means he's talking to you.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. Okay, so there are parts that I agree with, and then there are parts that I kind of take issue with. So the part where he's saying, if the person has a job, if the person loves you, if, he's basically a contributing member of society, that doesn't mean that he's not a good guy. Now, I can agree with that. He has a job. He's doing what he can on his level. He's, you know what I mean? That's great. That doesn't mean that he's not a bad brother or, whatever. But the whole, I can take you out sometimes. I can pay the light bill and you pay the mortgage. The way he phrased that did not sit well with me. And I only say that because if you're in a marriage, it really doesn't matter who makes what, because it's y'all's. Y'all paying the mortgage. You all are together paying the light bill. But if I'm dating somebody, or if we getting to know each other and we want to find out if we want to spend together forever, spend forever together. Okay. if that's what we're deciding, I don't know if you can only just take me out to dinner here and there and I foot the bill for everything else. I don't know about that.
I think it also depends on what your love language is. If your love language is like my love language is acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
You wash the dishes, you do the laundry, you cook, you do all of the things, whatever the things are.
Mm-hmm.
Then my love tank is full. It's not empty.
Mm-hmm.
My love language is not gifts, and it
My
is
love language is gifts and physical touch.
yeah. So then that wouldn't work for you.
It would not.
That would not work for you.
It wouldn't. But I wouldn't say that it wouldn't work for me. What I would say is not doing anything wouldn't work for me.
Well,
Gifts doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be $100,000 gift. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, if you're only washing the dishes and washing clothes, that doesn't work for me because that's not my language. But if you came home with some roses, you know what I mean? If you came home with some roses, or you came home with what you know my favorite dessert is, that still would make me happy. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily the amount you're spending on the gift. It's, I like tangible gifts. That's my love language. Mm-hmm. And I like physical touch. But you washing the dishes is just not my language.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think here's the interesting part, and I hear this conversation amongst men, black men. A black man, a black woman, or a woman can come to the table with nothing, and he's willing to accept her. Mm-hmm. A man comes to the table with nothing, you will not accept him. And what I think sometimes what potentially could happen and has happened, you may miss your blessing because you're seeing these things that he may or may not have on the front end. You may not know, you may be that blessing for that man that may catapult him to the next level.
But I will say this, you can't be 50 with nothing.
Right.
You can't be 50 and figuring it out. I think the baseline of all of this conversation is someone in your 20s. You know, you're in your 20s, you're trying to figure it out, you're kind of growing and going through life. Mm-hmm. And you know, you might have a master's and you might not have an entry level position as this other person that you're dating. So it's a little different. Mm-hmm. But in your 50s, I
think that may not the 50 part.
Unless it's a significant life change. You know what I mean?
Right. Something could have happened.
It has to make sense.
And that's what I mean. And that's what I mean. So take for instance, you know, my industry. I mean, after 9/11, my industry was totally jacked up.
But you were married.
And so
you were married. See,
you knew what your potential was and what you were bringing to the table.
I understand that, but I'm saying somebody in my shoes at that time and was single, and they're trying to date someone or what have you, and they're like, "Well, look,
they don't need to be trying to date somebody. They need to be trying to figure out."
And that's what. But that's what I'm saying. They're figuring it out. And so if while I'm figuring it out, I just happen to come across your path, I'm not saying we dating because I really can't afford to do that right now, but I'm making a career change and I have nothing. All I have is 3 more severance checks and that's it. And then I have nothing. So all I'm saying is that I'm making a career change. I'm about to go holler at the fire department, about to go holler at the police department, about to go do such XYZ or what have you, and I'm going to try and make this thing work. But at the same time, I mean, if I'm 50, that's not my fault that I have to do this career change. I was forced into it.
But what
But
happened
Marlon,
in your
what you're
40s
saying,
and your 30s and your 20s? You didn't meet anybody in your 20s and your 30s?
but
I
the
probably
thing
didn't meet
is,
anybody that I
Marlon,
felt was worth for it. I mean, I was
but
chilling.
what you're saying
Now that you
makes
lost
sense.
everything, you
You
trying
can-
to get a girl now? But when you had a job,
No,
you were
oh my gosh.
you were in your 20s,
See,
your
that's
30s,
coming from
your
a married.
40s.
That's
See,
coming
but
from a
it
married.
still goes back
From
to
a
what I
single
said.
woman's
Women
perspective.
do not accept men at that level with
Exactly.
nothing. That's what
They
you,
won't
you guys
accept the
just
man,
In
but
your
clarified what I
we would
twenties,
said.
take her.
in
We
your
would
And
take
we
them
will
20s,
take
every
her
day,
with
all
nothing.
day.
But
We
no,
take her with nothing,
no.
including
Time out.
kids.
At 50, at 60, we
No.
take them with nothing at 60 or 70.
No.
But
No.
and it's
This is
cool.
the
no.
thing.
But let me
No.
ask you
At-
something.
at
Are you
your
50 years
age-
old and not doing anything? What
At
kind of
your
man is
age-
that? What kind of man is 50 years old and not doing nothing?
No, but what I'm
kind of
saying is,
man is
at
that?
your age, when you can tell me that I'm a pilot, you know, after 9/11, this is what happened. But you're still able to take care of yourself because you have those severance checks and you have a plan. That's different than coming saying, I don't want to say an industry because I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. But you can't come to me. I'm a single woman. I can talk about right now because the dating pool is looking real suspect right now. You can't come to me right now.
Look, I'm working on my album, right? I'm working on my rap album. Right?
Oh, absolutely not.
You definitely can't come say that. Definitely can't say that.
So
I
I got a
turn
couple.
my camera off.
I got a
Because I'm
couple.
done. I turn my camera off because I am done.
I gotta run out to LA.
You struck a nerve because I done heard that one before.
We can't defend that
In
one.
recent years,
And then tomorrow.
Mo, in recent years. Oh no!
50, I got to and I'm a rapper. Even worse.
I got to meet with Jermaine Dupri tomorrow, though.
Let me keep.
I got to meet with Jermaine Dupri tomorrow.
Right.
Wait, Avis.
Yeah.
That's why my marriage broke up.
I can beat pop. I can beat
Because
pop.
he was trying to make a record.
No, ma'am.
We are not going to talk about that. Okay.
Not at this age.
Not at this big age.
Not at this big age.
Hear me out. I love it when you call me Big Papa.
No,
he wasn't 50 when he was making that album.
Put Marlon on mute. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Don't ever do
Marlon
that.
just trying to stir the pot at this point. He's trying to stir the pot.
I know. My bad.
I'm gonna say this though.
I got you though. I do understand. I understand. At 50, you should have some sort of direction and where you want to go. A definitive direction that's going to move both of you all into a positive light and something where y'all can build upon. And I do see that. I'm just saying. But I'm just saying. But I'm just saying. Victims of circumstances tend to put people in a precarious predicament to make them have to like think outside the box and be able to go beyond and to think beyond what was so silly to think beyond the box and make them look at certain industries that they would not have looked at before, i.e. law enforcement, fire department, being a teacher, something they can grasp hold for right now and then work on the big thing later. You know what I mean? So that's all.
Work at Target, Walmart, and the gas station.
But I'm gonna tell you. After 9/11, none of them were hiring.
Oh wow!
I went to McDonald's, Burger King. I said, look, I'll do anything.
But
and
see,
they were
that's
like,
a character right there.
They was like, you a pilot. You don't want this job. No, I do. Y'all don't understand.
Yeah, I'm about to pilot these rides. Don't you worry about that.
Lateef went down the street and he became a stripper called
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. God.
I mean, at the end of the day, you do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do.
And I think that's another reason why Black women don't settle for certain things because we've always done what we had to do to make things happen. I'm talking about from our grandparents on back.
I like that. I like that talk, but it ain't always the truth. Because for every one of y'all on this panel that do all the right things, there's somebody who there's a knucklehead.
And the man too.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I disagree with that, but what I'm saying is it's not every woman. There's
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Yeah.
But she ain't messing with no.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I want my kids to talk to somebody who about something.
100%.
I want my son to talk to somebody.
Of course we do.
And I want my daughter to talk to somebody who's about something.
Of course we do.
And
of course we
that
do.
doesn't necessarily mean that you have a six-figure job right now, but discernment will let you know when they're just wishing on the star and they just making up stuff and they don't really have a plan and that they're a user.
That's true.
I just think at the end of the day, you know in your Noah what you need to be doing when it comes to dating.
You know
somebody.
where you know it at? Where
you know what? Yo, Noah.
All right.
Y'all so funny.
Look at Avis. Who is this?
Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson got a divorce.
You have right.
And his wife have probably
get married.
He's been married for like 20 years. 20 something years
ago. 22 years ago.
I thought he was always single.
No, he played like he's single, but he is now for real.
You remind me of the time when you were talking about someone who had passed. You were talking about, well, what are they gonna do?
Stop it. You know what?
They're dead.
Who was that? Do y'all remember who it was?
I can't remember who it was. But she was like, what are they going to do? And she was serious, too.
She was.
And everybody got quiet. Everybody got quiet, too. Everybody got quiet, too.
Who was that pregnant pause? Everybody was
so pretty. I'm happy for them. Ooh, she's so pretty. And he got a black woman.
Who gonna tell her? Who gonna tell her, babe? They
It was a football player.
It was a football player?
And Miles was the only one who helped me.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because we were just in awe. Okay? We didn't know what to say. We were like, does she?
She's Makita.
Makita,
beautiful couple.
He's dead now.
And, you all know that sports is not my forte. I know a little bit here and there. So when you all start talking about sports,
Anthony Anderson's relationship ain't either.
Right.
He's not. He's always putting himself out there like he was single. Him and Tracy Ellis Ross both.
I don't know if
I think if I'm not mistaken, they met at Howard or something like that.
They did what? Oh yeah.
Captain, didn't y'all beat Howard? Y'all just beat Howard, didn't y'all?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even newsworthy because it always happens. I mean, we always beat Howard.
Oh my goodness, Latif, I can't.
Captain, I think y'all haven't beat Howard in like a decade.
We have always beat Howard.
Oh, okay.
In something, maybe not football.
I want to say the last time we lost to Howard, I thought it was back in '96 when Tupac died. That's when they beat us. But actually, they beat us one time. They beaten us twice in between that time and this time.
We need to pull it up. Next story because it's not like Captain telling story. Don't do that.
Don't do that tomorrow.
I'm not lying. I have nothing to lie about. That's why whenever they talk about the real HU, it's non-existent to us because we already know who the real one is because we tell every year to let you know.
But then when people talk about HU, why do people want to go to Howard versus Hampton? And this is coming from a non-HU guy.
The reason why they go. Oh, don't get me wrong. Howard has a great notoriety, and it's out there more so. When you think of HBCUs, you think of some of your some of your top 5. You think of Grambling, you think of Howard, Spelman, Morehouse, and stuff like that. People don't really think of Hampton.
Don't leave my baby school out.
Okay, Clark, Atlanta, in the AU Center.
So since 1998, Hampton has 20 wins, and they have lost 4 times.
So I said 2. It's really 4. But I knew it was single digits and it was on one hand. That I did know.
Nice recovery. Okay.
Right.
John Wick on the recovery.
It ain't even about recovery. We always whoop them from them.
So that's Tamar Braxton. And unfortunately, her car was broken into in the garage of her home. And
the garage door open?
She just said, well, when I say home, I believe it was more like a condo or something like that. Yeah. And they were just walking around.
They're walking around just seeing which car doors are open type thing.
They were, after they robbed her car, they were still just walking around in the garage, and they were at her car going through her stuff for a very long time, all on video.
She might have been.
She doesn't feel safe.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This is a gated community?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean,
she might have been targeted.
We're in the gated community. We had that.
I'm just saying security.
You got that problem in your neighborhood, Lateef?
Yeah. It was recent.
Those are most likely.
Actually, we had 2 cars stolen.
They ain't checking. Most
you
likely.
You had cars stolen, Lateef?
Cars was stolen.
Those are inside jobs. You can't tell me.
It had to be. It had to be. So when they went back and looked at the security cameras and stuff, this is when we switched security companies. They let between 1 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the morning, they let 16 cars come through without even checking them. Because every car that comes through, they're supposed to register. They're supposed to register the tag at least, and then let them go, so that if something does happen, they can say, "Oh, they were visiting, this address, whatever."
But you also live in such a you live with all them castles around. Y'all least likely to be paying attention to whether people come through. I get it.
Well, that's why it was the inside job, because there's no way with all that security you all have.
But then a couple of people showed their ring videos, and it showed dudes, they walking down the street, and then one to peel off and try the car doors, and then he'll just go back in the street and go down. Another ring and pick it up and see them walking down the street and stuff like that. And I was like, it's a good thing they did not come down my street.
First of all, here's the thing: your house so big, you can't get from one end of the house to the other end to get to the front door. So who you gonna catch?
You don't have to catch nothing.
So we do have a balcony on the front and the back.
That's right, and the back.
And it's a good line of sight.
Oh Lord, that's fair.
I'm just saying. It's a good line of sight.
You got light too. Don't you have a lot of light right in front of your front house?
Yeah, we do have a light pole.
Yeah,
we do have a light pole right there in front.
We do.
But my point is that just because it's in secure, just like Tamar's, you still get violated. So
all right, moving on. Colorado. Ricky Smiley
jump on the bandwagon.
Ricky Smiley said Deion turned that school into a HBCU.
How? They have dancing girls. The band playing.
Yes.
White whales.
Yes.
So the band was playing "Talking Out the Side of Your Neck."
Everything.
No, I ain't hear that. No, I ain't hear that.
Do they have a dance breakdown in the middle of the halftime show?
Right. No, they don't. No, they don't. They are still standing upright. They're still standing upright and going heel toe, heel toe.
No, you gotta watch them.
I know one thing.
They're not doing the high. They're not doing the high knee.
He done sold out the sunglasses. You know, did Bobby get the? Bobby didn't upload the pictures. He didn't upload the pictures from 2022 to 2023.
That's what you need to see.
Let me tell you.
Tell Bobby talk to Chaz real quick. Chaz online.
Listen, they changed the name of the school from to Colorado Agricultural University.
Wow, you know what?
Oh my God.
Talking about. I go to A&T.
Right.
No, I go to C-A&T.
C-A&T.
We have a recruiter coming to the school next week. I'm going to see what his pitch is this year. Last year was, you don't want to go to Boulder. I'm going to see what it is this year.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
But it's far from an HBCU. I ain't even don't be disrespecting my HBCUs like that.
What's the name of the sunglass line? Do we know the name of the sunglass line?
What is the name of the sunglass line? I have no idea.
Yeah, the name is called Winning. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
It was 1.2 million in one day.
Beating everybody tail.
For the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Wow.
The what?
He bought them for the
1.2 million for the sunglasses.
They made that in one day.
Yeah, those are some expensive sunglasses. I don't know what they are, but they are a lot. They do cost a lot.
He bought them for the whole team.
And then
he have a sponsorship for the whole team.
Right.
Cha-ching. Let's go ahead.
Trying to tell you.
Prime 21 sunglasses, blenders by Deion Sanders.
Oof.
Coach Prime 21.
1.2 million. That coach is probably kicking himself right now for opening his mouth.
Shades rocked by Colorado's head coach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chad. I see you working it back there.
This is great. So this is his thing.
Well, it's like what I was saying last week. I mean, they've really have created
a fast turnover.
Right.
He said, "Ain't too hard to find." That's what his shirt say.
Well, let me show you. They actually flipped the school upside down to change to just what people see. It's like the most watched game every week.
Yeah, he's definitely revolutionized college football. He's definitely have changed the trajectory. They showed the stadium last year at this time, and I think the whole stadium may have had 200 people in it.
I got it.
They flipped back to this. Oh, look who showed up.
Hey, man. It was very traffical. It was traffical out here.
It was
very traffical. He just created a word. Y'all go ahead and give him a drink for that one. But he just created a word. He just created a word.
Hey,
and we know what it means.
Because all that garbage.
Because it was.
And Webster and all that. I don't even know Webster. I don't care about him. They don't test me no more.
What is Webster?
The dictionary.
Oh, Webster. The funny thing is, bro, yesterday morning I was in that traffic, and I was like,
"Wait a minute."
That's
that's the stadium from last year.
That's 2022.
2021.
Wow.
22.
No, 2022.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's all a Boulder.
Revolution. That's the whole town right there.
People talking about they're getting trips to go there just to go to the game.
That's why Dana couldn't get to the show. Yeah, traffic come from Colorado all the way to Florida.
Hey, I got one chain, but 2 chains was there.
Lil Wayne was there. He performed.
He brought Lil Wayne was there.
Yeah.
Offset
was there. Yeah.
So
everybody in their mama.
They showed the list of who's gonna be there next week. I was like,
it's a weekly lineup, and coming next week, what your game is going to be. Wow.
But here's the thing: Deion's the only person that I know who can actually handle it and not be moved by it. I don't know any other college coach in America that can really do that and navigate through it, because he Here's the thing people forget. Deion was him, and he is still him.
Of course. That's for the sake of his name, prime
Right.
time. He was prime time, so he knows how to handle and he knows how to deal with being in the spotlight 247. And most college coaches and most NFL coaches can't handle it. I mean, to this day, I mean, you had one of the most winningest program head coach in Belichick, and he hated the media.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It seems like he hated everybody. But anyways.
Right. And Popovich in basketball. He was he was highly decorated. He hates the media. And it's like, well, why y'all?
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing. These guys hate him for all the right reasons, though.
I get it. I get it.
Especially Pop.
But appease them.
I understand. I understand why.
Yeah, because they twist and they play wordplay with you. They twist your words around and they twist it up to make something mean something that is not. And it's like, that is not what I said.
They're going to play UM.
Nah. The only way that they'll play UM is in the BCS.
That's
in the Bowl Championship Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen this year. It may happen in a couple of years, but it's not going to happen this year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you know, Prime, he can navigate through it because he was it, and that's it, man. He knows how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes like Nick Saban.
Look, Deion gonna be coaching the Commanders in a little bit. He gonna be over there with Magic in Washington.
Nah, man. He said he don't want to go to the pros because he won't be able to do this in the pros.
Okay.
Right.
No. Look, nobody thought he'd be able to do it in Colorado.
Nobody thought he'd be able to do it in Jackson State.
Oh no, I knew he could do it at Jackson State.
Well,
nobody saw that coming.
Look,
and
HBCU is a little different than Colorado U with.
No, but my point is nobody saw that happening. Okay, they accepted that. Then here's the thing: they thought because they brought the players from Jackson State to Colorado that they were going to be sorry.
Well, they couldn't be no sorry they want to win.
Well, here's the thing:
you made yourself laugh on
that. Look, he doubled his win total already.
Yeah, he tripled it
for the rest of the year.
He tripled it.
Oh my gosh!
Look.
We already got him. Got him good.
Okay, what's next? What's next?
A whole lot of expectations out there.
What's going on?
Oh,
did she file for
Iman and Tiana Taylor?
Yeah,
another divorce. Yeah, Iman, basketball. Tiana Taylor.
Oh, Iman, shrimp, whatever.
Shumpert. Iman amongst men.
Yeah.
Basketball player.
And who is she?
Tiana Taylor. Singer, actress, choreographer.
Dirty.
You may know her from Kanye's video.
Yes.
That one.
No.
You know what's interesting? When I always see when they start highlighting black couples and putting them out there, they always end up breaking up. I don't know why.
Well, the Jonas Brothers boy is getting divorced, and she's suing him. And somebody came on.
She's suing.
Yeah, she's suing him. She said he kidnapped the kids. Talking about all of the marriages in Hollywood that are getting a divorce now.
There's one a week.
It's ridiculous, man. It's almost like, what did y'all? I mean, like y'all didn't. Like, why did y'all do it? You know, what was the purpose of y'all doing it? Was it substance or was it just, hey, which y'all woke up one day was like, hey, let's go get married.
Yeah, probably. It probably was a.
Not right. Still not right.
Probably made a deal to get married.
Oh my gosh. I can't with y'all.
Let's go into business together.
Oh boy. This clown.
So
he said no black folk did nothing. They ain't sing, they ain't act, they ain't do nothing. They ain't do nothing. We's white folks did it all.
So what did they remove? They removed them from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, correct? Was that the Rock?
From the board.
From the board. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. He has his own opinion, and he has a right to his own opinion. But I think he's wrong with his opinion because you telling me Marvin Gaye. I mean, run down the list of all the black singers that have made music. What music is?
First of all, you got to start from the beginning, which is Robert Johnson, which is what all genres spun off from. It spun from Robert Johnson.
Who's man?
Lateef, I love how Lateef has history. We'd be like, who was that?
Right.
But it's good.
So Robert Johnson
history, yeah.
So Robert Johnson was the legendary blues singer who legendarily had the devil met the devil at the crossroads down at the Delta in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And he was, because they said that when they first met him and saw him and he tried to perform, they said the boy sounded like crap. Like he couldn't string a guitar, he couldn't play no medley or anything. And then they said he was gone for like 2-3 months. And he walked up in the juke joint one day, and the dude saw him who wouldn't let him play before. And he was like, man, let me get on stage. And he was like, nah, man, last time you was here, man, you made everybody's ears bleed. And he was like, nah, I got it. And he started playing from the audience, and they let him up. And he started playing, and they were like, who in the hell is that?
Lateef, I'm going to tell you this. That was a dark documentary.
It was. God. It was because he died so young.
But they kind of lightened it up in "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie, but
say that again.
You ever saw the movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou"?
I did. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
And that was the part where they picked him up and went to.
That was Ralph Macchio?
No, that was Clooney.
Oh, don't know.
Yeah, George Clooney. It was George Clooney.
And
you said they picked him up?
Yeah, they picked him up and went and made a record. Okay, anyways.
That's funny. But at any rate, that's Robert Johnson. So that goes back to him. Robert Johnson was the one that spawned off all that. So from the blues, you spawned off rock and roll, you spawned off R&B, jazz, whatever, all this and that.
Right.
And so
to sum it all up, the man's an idiot. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna tell me Chuck Berry. I mean, we can run down a list. Stevie Wonder, run down a list of all the artists.
Yeah.
Mediocre. I say he's mediocre.
He must play football.
They weren't
early
CTE
or something. I don't know.
I think that's when it gets to a point where you just like, you know what? It's not even worth me sitting here trying to prove anything to you. Like,
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Not worth it.
Because he said women and blacks, and I was like,
yeah.
What are you?
Well, here's the thing is you give a platform to people like this, you know. And
right.
It's like, that's the
thing.
That's the
problem.
Right. That's the problem.
Right. Like, and I believe I read one of the reviews, and it was from a credible source, and they said it was touchingly honest.
Stop it.
See how they are? See how they are?
Look, they
stop.
The complexion for protection, they word stuff.
See how they are? See how they are? Consistently, touchingly honest.
Look.
I got your honesty.
Yeah, exactly. All right, y'all. It was a good one. We will see you.
Stop stealing from us.
Peace.
Stop stealing.
Long shot, but I got the reach. Pop lock, now I'm off the leash. Mic drop, I ain't gotta preach.